Hello and welcome to the channel. This weekend I tried Astro for the first time and I really enjoyed it. So today I'd like to share what I've learned so far, and we're going to build a simple example from HTMX docs about the infinite scroll. We're going to use Astro, Astro partials, HTMX, and in the storage we'll use AstroDB. So let's create our application. I'm using bun. You can use npm, it doesn't really matter. So bun create Astro latest, and then we need a name. The name will be Astro HTMX infinite scroll. Include sample files, yes. TypeScript, yes. Strict install dependencies and git repo, okay. And while this is creating, let's go into HTMX docs, and this is the example we are going to build. So infinite scroll, we scroll. When we have this loader in the viewport, we load the next portion of the elements. And HTMX is basically a way, like it's first of all a JavaScript library, but you can control AJAX requests with HTML tags. So here we just use 3 tags, and this is supposed to be the last element in the batch. And when the element is visible in the viewport, this HX trigger revealed means that once it's visible, we're going to execute the request, and the request will be defined here, HX get. So it will be get to our partial in Astro to get the next page. And HX swap means the response from that request to the partial will be added after this element. So that's it in a nutshell. So we have our project created. Let's open it into the editor, Astro HTMX infinite scroll. Here we go. So if we run bun run dev and open it in this URL, this is what we have. Index Astro. We don't need most of that, so I can just remove everything. So delete inner tag, reload, and we can add something simple here. So let's say we want a div saying hi. Oops. Yeah, let's go. So we have our simple element right here. So after that, let's create some test data. So I'm going to use faker.js, and let's install this thing. Getting started. Install faker. Bun install faker.js. Let's go to the usages. And we want this import right here. Let's create a couple items. So let's say const. Let's say we will have posts, and we'll have title. And here we have faker.lorem, I think, .paragraph 1. And here let's just do posts map post, and it will be return div, and we want post.title. This. And yeah, this is generated from Faker. That's good. The next thing we want is, let's add straight away our AstroDB, and we will generate some data there. So let's go to AstroDB, read the docs, and we want to add this. So we are using bun, so we need to do bun x Astro add DB. Yes. So it will create two files. It will be seed and config in the DB folder. So yeah, it's asking us if we want to scaffold those. Yes, and yes again. So now we can open our DB file, config. Yep. So if we scroll a bit, we can find some example with the primary key. That's what I want. So this thing. Let's paste it right here. And so we want define table here as well. Define table and column. Yeah, that's good. So this will be post, and we'll have ID and title. And here we just want to define our table. And yeah, that's it. In the seed file, we can use Faker again to generate some data. So let's copy this and go to the seed. We want to import Faker. And then here we want this example. So it will be like this. Insert, and we want insert post. And values, we want to generate those. So let's say posts, and if I remember it correctly, it will be something like array. And let's say we want 100 elements, then we want map here. We ignore that, and we just want to return a title, and it will be faker dot lorem dot paragraph 1. And yeah, that will be our posts, and this will be our posts. Cool. And for the query, basically AstroDB just comes with Drizzle ORM built in, so we can just use most of the Drizzle API. So to select, let's do this as they suggest, and we also want this import. So if we go back to our index, we can do this, and now this is post, and select from post. So a bit of ORM, and this will be posts now. So we can remove this thing, and we can remove faker now. We don't need that. Let's check our page. And it's not working, but define table is not defined. Okay. So yeah, we added database and we need a restart for that. Let's reload, and we see 100 elements, and we still have this high. We don't need it anymore. And also let's do ID here as well. So we have post dot ID, something like that, and maybe a space inside. Yeah. So this is good. But what I want now is, let's say we will have a page size 5 elements. So we want to show just this, and after that we want to load that when it's in the viewport. So to do that, let's change this query first of all, and we're going to use Drizzle cursor-based pagination. So the benefits of cursor-based pagination are here. So basically we have consistent query results as we go on to the next page, and we don't have any skipped or duplicated rows, and it's basically more efficient in most databases, because the limit and offset, I think they tend to work slower if you go deeper in the history. So, and like the drawbacks obviously is it's a bit more complex to implement, But in our case, as we're building infinite scroll, we don't need to go to a specific page. We don't need to generate this pagination like with exact pages. We just scroll and we get the next portion of elements. So I think the cursor-based pagination is a perfect fit for our use case. So let's grab the simplest example. So first of all, we just want here to do limit, and our page size, as we said, will be 5. And then we want order by, and let's say sending order, and we want post.id, the simplest thing, and we want to add here this thing. Yeah, this should work. Now let's go to our page. Yeah, this is fine. So from the HTML, the only thing we want really is to go to docs and to get the CDN link to install, and that's, I think, everything we want. So in the layout, I think layout Astro, in the header we just want to add our new script element. So now we should have HTMX in our pages. If we go back to examples, let's grab our infinite scroll, and we will need those 3 lines. But to build that, we want to create a new page. So it will be pages and then new file, and it will be partial or partials. I don't remember, partials. Dot posts dot astro, and here we want let's actually search that. I don't really remember. So Astro partials, here we go. So it is export const partial true. And what that is doing is basically we now can create a small snippet of HTML, so we don't have to return a full HTML page body or like full HTML content from here. We can just create a small snippets, and that's specifically useful for HTMX when we need to communicate with HTML markup. So here, let's say just div, and let's say hi from partial. Cool. And here in our index, let's add a simple element. Let's call it div, and let's call it trigger HTMX. And here we want hx get. Come on, hx get partials posts. I think we can close this, and if we go to our page, yeah, trigger HTMX. We click on that. We have a network call. Let's refresh and remove everything. We click on that. We have a network call to partials slash posts, and what we have back from that will replace the inner HTML of this div. So from this we can start building our infinite scroll example. I think we have this card component generated, and we can use that to create our new component actually. So let's do import. So we want our post from AstroDB. And in props, I just want to pass post, type post. And also, you'll see in a sec, we want a loader, and it should be Boolean. So here from props, we want post and loader. Remove everything else. Cool. So I don't think we need styles, right? So I can just remove everything. And here, let's actually remove everything from here. So it will be just div. We want to get a next page here from our database. But for now, let's just get the same posts as here. So if I copy that, let's copy these lines. And we don't want this import. Okay, so we will have posts, and same idea, we basically map over those posts, map, and we have post. Oh, wait a sec, that's completely wrong place. I just realized that. So this card component is just to have a markup for the single post. The logic to get posts we want in the partials, right? So we have it here. Let's create it like this. So now we want import DB from AstroDB, and we want also post and this. Yeah, this should work. And now we want to iterate, so it will be posts.map. We have post, and we want to return a div. Actually the same as we have here, right? So we want this block. We want to return that. And now the interesting part is, yeah, so we trigger when we get the next like kind of batch of our post items. It's not correctly working so far, but you will fix that in a sec. The thing is, we want to add those HTMX attributes, but only on the last element here. So I think the way of doing that, we can basically say I here for the index, and then we'll have our posts array, or we just can call it array here. And then, so we want hx get, that will be partials posts, and also we want to pass a query param for the cursor. Let's say we want our ID of the post to be the cursor, so it will be post.id. And yeah, so cool. The other thing is that we only want it on the last element. So and that's why, yeah, so we kind of duplicating the logic here. So let's move this straight away into our component. So we want to return this div, right? Post will be here, and we can just build logic here. And that's why I wanted this loader right here. So if we have loader, it will be like this. So we want loader to be true, so this element will appear. And I think if you have false, Astro will just remove the attribute at all. So that's what we want. So hx get, hx trigger, same idea. We want loader, and we want revealed. And same for target. And I don't remember what we should put there. hx swap, and it will be after end. Just for consistency, let's do the same, loader and after end. Cool. So yeah, now we need to rename this to be post. Post component, let's say. Post component. Here we want to get it. Post component. Post component. Like this. And here now we can use our component. Post component. And we want to now provide post right here, like this. We don't need our div anymore. This could be just a return. Right, let's see if that still works. Yeah, something is working. Yeah, that's fine. So what's next? Now we need to calculate the loader, right? And that's why I was thinking to do something like this. An array, original array. So the loader will be true only if the array dot length -1 equal I. So if we are on the last element in this iteration in the map, and map can accept these 3 arguments for the index and the full collection, and this should be true only on the last element. Let's delete this line. Let's see. Inspect. Length. TH. Yeah. Typo. So now we see it twice, right? And if we scroll refresh, we don't see it actually, but basically this was in the viewport already. That's the problem. But now let's go to our partial again. And here we want to return the same thing, right? So we want this map, and let's go here and paste it like this. So we missing the import for the post component. Let's grab this. And I think we're on different levels, so we need to do something like this. Yep. So now as we scroll, network, refresh, and remove everything. So as we scroll, we see that we have call Ajax call to our backend, and we're passing the cursor ID 5. So we have almost everything working, except we need to fix the query to the database. So we actually need to use our ID correctly in the cursor. So let's close this and let's go to the partials, right? So yeah, we're already here. So what we want to do is we want, first of all, want to get the query param. And to get it, let's do Astro get query param. And I've seen the answer somewhere here. So yeah, we want this. And if we paste it here, this will be cursor console.log cursor. Yep, it's good. Yeah, so I think that the thing that I forgot to do is to actually enable server-side rendering. So Astro by default is static, like the result of Astro build is just static website. So we want to enable SSR, and we don't really care about which one. So we probably just can use like Vercel or something, and we can do barnex add Vercel. And I think after that, our query param will start working, hopefully. So let's do yes. And we want to restart barn run dev. Cool. Yeah, so now we have these 5 right here. So we have access to our cursor, query param. And yeah, we just need to fix the query. So we have from users and where. And here, if we do where cursor greater post ID cursor undefined, like this. And this comes from drizzle gt reload, and now we see increasing IDs, and if we get to 100, that should stop, because on the 100 we'll get a query to get posts. This collection was empty, so this returned nothing, and we don't have any more HX triggers returned, so we stopped here. If we refresh, as you can see, we immediately fire 4 requests to the backend because our elements are too small. So this was in the viewport, and then when it was loaded, this was in the viewport, etc. But once we scroll, we see that we have new requests coming to the backend, and yeah, until we reach the end. So cool. That's what we have in a nutshell. I will probably publish that in GitHub. So if you want an example like this, the link will be in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please support my channel, like, subscribe, comment, and also there is a Buy Me a Coffee page where you can support me as well. Hope you enjoyed. See you next video. Bye bye.